Hey up, bonjour. Well, today is going to be a hot one. So I've picked a cycle route which has got a lot of shade, as you can see behind me there. And I'm actually on the old branch line that ran between Domfront and Laval. So further on up this path, I'm going to look for a junction that went to, well, the original railway went to Pontebol. But the actual cycle track goes all the way to Mont Saint-Michel. So what we'll do, in a couple of minutes of time, we should find that junction. So we're now approaching the junction, and to the right hand side of me was the old branch line that went to Alençon. So if we swing round to the left, this will then put us on to the branch line. Like I said, on a really hot day like today, these particular cycle routes are fantastic, nice and cool with the shade. So, like all my videos, just one more thing to say. Here we go! Well, down there is the level crossing house, and they would operate the barriers across this busy road.
Bonjour.
3 kilometres out, we've come across this level crossing building. And I have to say, the bird life down here is amazing, as you can hear them in the background. I've had a hoopoo down here, great spotted woodpeckers, quite a lot of garden warblers, white throats, chiff-chaffs, blackcaps. Continue down the line. Here. Look at these baby moo-moos. How cute are they? 6 kilometres down the line, we come to our first railway station at Saint-Hilaire-du-Harcouët, and just through the trees, if I zoom in, see the old toilet block. This is looking at the railway station, and the platforms would have run down just to the left hand side of this building. There's no SNCF sign on the building at all. It used to be right in front, you can see where it used to be, but at the top, just below the chimneys, is the old SNCF crest on those tiles. As you can see, they've used 2 railway sleepers for the gate posts. So the platform ran just round the back there. So 11 kilometres up the line, we've now arrived at the railway station at Saint-Hilaire-du-Harcouët. Some more information about Saint-Hilaire. If you take this cycle track just off the Voie Verte, you'll come into the village itself, and you'll come to a pub called Chez René. We're now 15 kilometres from when we set off. We come to this immaculate, preserved old railway house, Barenton-le-Tilleul. Now Barenton is a town to the right hand side of this, Le-Tilleul to your left. 18 kilometres further up the line, come to another level crossing. We've got this stone building, no number on it depicting which one it was. Yeah, using railway sleepers for posts. That's for washing line. Well, that's not going anywhere, is it? I've been travelling along the railway line, and I did notice that the grass was cut. It's all nice and tidy. Let's see. We're now 20 kilometres up the line, we come to another level crossing house. I passed this guy back down the line, and this cyclist tows this little caravan, and he actually sleeps in there. Let's go through this little chicane. Looks hard graft, this does. And voila. Sure. We're now 24 kilometres up the line, and we've come to a small village called Beyond. Another level crossing house, number 36. Someone's fabricated a little house. There's information about this little building. So after leaving Beyond, it is a bit of an incline now, and as you can see in front, more grass cutting being carried out, keeping these cycle routes clear. Yes, I know, another level crossing.
Another one.
Well, I don't film them all. There's a lot of them. Oh, just pan up there, that's more tan. Hence the bit of the incline. And there's a panel here. Some information about the Second World War. Okay, so as we pass this level crossing, I can see another building behind these trees.
Peekaboo!
So I'm guessing we have a railway station, which we do. We're at Moreton Beyond Railway Station. So we have the SNCF crest. I'll try to get my finger on it at the top there. The old SNCF railway sign. And there's some sort of goods shed with a platform. And here we have the toilet block. I'm now 27 kilometres up the line, and now we've come to a junction. We're going to continue down this cycle route here. I'll just tell you where this cycle route goes to, Cherbourg, and via Mortain Romany. So that goes up to that way. There's some more information on this panel telling you about the cycle route and what you can see en route. And it says here, vous êtes ici, if I focus in, between Barenton and Saint-Hilaire. So Mont Saint-Michel, it's only 49 kilometres now. Saint-Hilaire, Fontenay and Milly. Right, see how we get on. Yeah, you guessed it, another level crossing. So just up the line a little bit, come across these original metal gates, all still intact. This is where the farmers would cross the line. Obviously they'd open and close everything themselves here. Can't have a level crossing at every track. So there they are, the old original gates. I know, I like rusty old things. Well, whilst I'm on these routes, I do come across lots of level crossings. I don't stop at every single one, be here all day. This one's near Barenton, and I have to admit to you, it was on the way back I saw this. The actual level crossing gates, they've put them down there. There's the old well behind. Yeah, look, the original gates. Like I said, it was on the way back I saw them, so you do see things differently on the way back, and I'm glad I pointed that out. Nice one. Yeah, you guessed it, another level crossing house. We're now 31 kilometres up the line, and one thing I have noticed since we left the old railway station at Beyond Mortain is the cycle path, the width. So I could see it was a single line up to that point, and now they would have a double track along this stretch towards Saint-Hilaire. We've now arrived at Millie, and here is the old railway station. Now, as we pass this railway station, I do like to mention the wildlife that I see along the route. Lots of butterflies, birds in particular. Now, over there, I've heard a bird, and it's a sitting Christicola. What the hell is one of them, you ask? Formerly known as a fan-tailed warbler, then the powers that be decided it wasn't a warbler, so give it this quite a crazy name. There's numerous of them on the coastlines of France. They're not rare, but that's the first one I've ever heard this far inland. 33 kilometres up the line, just gone past this beautiful old railway building. Not sure if it was a level crossing because there is no road or track to here. Just look round. See, number 54. Yep, you guessed it. Another level crossing. Right, we've arrived at our destination at Saint-Hilaire, and the railway station here was called Parigny-Saint-Hilaire. Now it doesn't exist anymore, and I've just seen this on this shed, and it shows you it was destroyed. But that was the railway station. And you've got toilets here at the end of the line, and a nice shaded area for a break before I go back. So from Domfront it was 39 kilometres to this point, and I've got to go back, and there's another 10 kilometres to Torchamp. So a total of 98 kilometres.
Wow!
Which is about right for these bikes and the battery, as long as you go on eco as much as you can. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. I've now got to head on back. At the end of this day, I need a cold beer. Alright, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye. Au revoir.